Welcome everybody to another edition of the Hurry Up. I'm your host, Down Wanna Sports, Adam. Now let's get it started. Everybody's been complaining about, the hits on Michael Vick. Now let me tell you something. I'm not a guy to worry about necessarily the hits on Michael Vick. I'm just saying if your offensive line played better, they might not be talking about this. If you know, Eli Manning has been sacked 10 times over the projected course of 16 games. That'll be 53 times. Manning does not get sacked more than 26 times in his career. So I'm just saying, people get hit because of different offensive linemen. When you start rookie offensive linemen, Eagles, that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to get hit. Do I think Michael Vick gets hit more? Do I think he should complain? I don't think he should complain. I think he's a runner. And the reason he gets hit harder than most people is because they don't know when he's down, they don't know when he's out, and they don't know when he's going to run. So what do you do when you don't know something? You go after it, and you go after it hard. If you see some quarterbacks like an Aaron Rodgers or Ben Roethlisberger, you see a lot of guys go for their legs and try to whip them down that way. They don't go for the kill shot. On Michael Vick, sometimes you go for the kill shot just because you don't know when he's going to tuck in and run, and you want to get that hit and make it as solid as possible because he can spin, juke, and slip away from you. So that's why you want to hit him hard. Now, the New York media is blasting that guy. Now, had we lost, they probably would have been blasting us. Yeah, New York media is blasting that guy. You know, sometimes you just got to take your lumps and not say anything. Keep it internal. Don't worry about external. Because when you start complaining, people look at you. Now, I heard from the New York media, or at least the New York media outlets are saying that some of the Eagles complain a lot. I don't know if that's true or not, but if you have a prize possession in a 150, 80, $100 million quarterback, you want to get your investment returned. So I'm just throwing it out there. Take a look at it. It's not really that big a deal either way, but check it out. Eagles. I'm not saying they're out. It's a long season. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? We lost 2 games, but you got to do something. And the Eagles right now defensively have changed their linebackers twice already. Um, so we'll see if this helps. I don't know if the scheme is working for them. I don't know if they have know how to use their personnel quite yet. And maybe this is an effect of the off season. Maybe if they had the off season, the normal regulated off season, they wouldn't have this much issue. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have this, you know, struggle to get the defense and offense. And now you also have time to work with Vince Young, who apparently is ready to go, but apparently Michael Vick is starting, so we may not have that. Have it. Now let me tell you, Michael Vick wants to start. I like all the toughness out of the NFC's quarterbacks with Romo and all these guys playing, but if you're hurt, you're hurt. Like, don't end your career because you wanna do something. Now, broken ribs, you're playing with bruised ribs, man, you're gonna get shot, and you can't complain about it either. If you're injured and people are going after you, you cannot complain because you are in the game. When you are in the game, you are a player. They're going to take you as if you're 100%. You know what I mean? That's what this league is about. It's what any sport is about. If you're playing out there, it's because you think you could be effective. And if they think you can be effective, then that's why they go after you. On some upbeat notes, the Bills. Whoa, wow, the Bills. What are they doing? 3-0? Oh my God, that's nuts. That is nuts that they're 3-0. But they've hard fought wins. It's not like these Bills have won these games, and collapsed. They could have easily collapsed. They could easily have been 1-2 or 0-3. But they fought in these games. They fought hard, and they're just playing with up spirit. Now I don't know if this means a lot for the Bills. The Bills are in a tough spot. You know what I mean? They don't spend a lot of money in the off season. They get a lot of cast off players. But here they are, 3-0, sitting on top of the AFC East. Who thought after 3 weeks the Buffalo Bills would be sitting on top of the AFC East? Whew. I mean, it's a lot of work for those other teams in there because they've already beaten New England, and the Jets lost to Oakland. The AFC East look like it may be up for grabs. Unfortunately, the Miami Dolphins are 0-3, and they look like they're reeling. They're going to be one of those teams that play spoiler. I was in a discussion with a friend the other night before we get to the Lions. Actually, let's get to the Lions first. Then we'll get to the discussion. You guys can make the call. Lions, 3-0. They're going to play a Dallas team who just came off a big win against the Redskins. I think the Lions have a chance to beat this team. The secondary's beat up with the Cowboys. They do have 2 good, legit receivers and a good tight end to go down the middle. So they have 3 deep threats, and their backs out of the backfield are not bad. And Ian job at best. So these are the type of things I look for in this game. But let's get to one point before we go, and you'll get my picks on Sunday. So tune in on Sunday. You get my full picks and a little tidbits of every game. That way, may help you in your fantasy, or also may help you decide the winners on your picks. All right, let's go. The other day, I had a discussion with a friend about baseball games opposed to football games and how teams are regulating, and what people look for and what you want. What we're narrowing this down to is you pick the poison. I want to hear from you what you think is more effective. Do you think the NFL season is more effective, or do you think the baseball and basketball seasons are more effective because they have more games? I'm saying it's sports are two different sports, but the fact is you only have one day out of the week to celebrate your team, and it makes the parity go. It's a lot harder to predict winners in the NFL every year because so many winners come out of nowhere, and that's the whole point of the NFL and the parity of it all. The Yankees have been good for I don't know how many years. Because they have money, and they have a lot of because they have a lot of revenue, they can go out and spend money on players. In the NFL, it's a little different, and every team has a chance to win any given Sunday, which is what you want. Now, he also brought up the point about the playoffs. You normally don't see a team winning the playoffs. It's different because the good teams separate themselves. That's not necessarily true because we did have 2 7-9 teams fight it out for the playoffs last year, and they did upset the better team. That's why you get that chance. That's why every game matters because a 7-9 team will make the playoffs, and sometimes when you least expect it, that will be the team that wins. And sometimes, and they don't. And the thing about it is, the NFL they don't have tomorrow. They have one game or two games against a certain team, and that's it. And then you'll be lucky if you see them again. You know what I mean? It's not like we'll play a 3-game series. We'll see them again, mid-July. We'll see them again end of August, and we'll see them again at the end of September. It doesn't work that way. You don't have that option. You just have 2 games if you're a division, and you have 1 game if you're not. So it's hard. I mean, if you look at let's talk about the NFC East real quick. You talk about the Giants. The Giants have 3 games of film on the Arizona Cardinals, but they also have no real film on Kevin Kolb. So they have to go back and get all this film and accumulate. Now, if this game were week 9 or 10 or beyond, they'd have a little more film. But because they don't have that much film, it's going to be hard to game plan against the Arizona Cardinals. Should be a tough game. Look out for my picks on Sunday. This has been your boy, The Hurry Up. Stop whining.